Last year, I sort of fell in love with Samsung's Galaxy S6 and S6 Edge, and who can blame me? They were phenomenal phones and really the best devices Samsung had put out in a long time. Now, at the risk of sounding a bit repetitive, here I am a year later feeling much the same way about Samsung's new Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge. Now, the thing you've got to remember is these are two very different devices. They have a lot in common. They do share, in the US at least, a Qualcomm Snapdragon 820 chipset with 4GB of RAM and an updated 12 megapixel camera, which we'll dig into in just a bit, but the form factors are really separate. So the S7, straight sequel to the S6. It's got a flat 5.1-inch Super AMOLED screen, but with a curved back like the Galaxy Note 5, so it feels really nice in your hand. The S7 Edge, though, Samsung has gone for a bigger display. It's still curved, but it weighs in at 5.5 inches. Samsung says these things will take up to 200 gigabytes of additional microSD storage. There's more to it than that. It can handle more, but there aren't any commercial cards out there that go that big. Samsung has technically downsized the resolution, so it's a 12 megapixel camera on the back, but they've improved it in two key ways. For one, it's got a bigger, brighter lens. They've opened up the aperture to f1.7, so it'll capture more light. That's also helped by the fact that the sensor itself has bigger pixels. And of course, there's the performance boost that you're going to get with Qualcomm's new Snapdragon 820 chipset. Now, Samsung says it's going to be 30% faster than the S6 and the S6 Edge we were playing with last year, and not only that, the GPU is on average about 64% faster. So if you're a gamer, if you like to push your smartphone to the max, this might be the way to go for you. So let's flash back to last year. The S6 had a 2600 milliamp hour battery. Its sequel, the S7, has a 3000 milliamp hour battery. The S7 Edge, though, takes it to a completely different level, has a 3600 milliamp hour battery. Now that's bigger than even the Galaxy Note 5, so you should be able to use this thing for days. Considering that 5.5-inch screen, it feels phenomenally small, and that's because of the really tightly designed contours. It slides in and out of a pocket easily. It's bigger now, for one. It's about twice as large as it used to be, so it fits 10 shortcuts for apps, people, and something new, what Samsung refers to as tasks. And for better or worse, Yahoo is back too with its own set of panels that gives you access to sports scores, news stories, stocks, and it all scrolls vertically. It's a really slick interface and just different enough from last year's side-scrolling ticker that you're actually going to get some use out of this thing. Throw in water-resistant IP68 rated bodies for both of these devices, and we've got a Samsung that's committed to refinement. Last year's S6 and S6 Edge represent probably the biggest step forward Samsung has ever made in terms of design and construction. This year is all about taking that formula and smoothing out the rough edges, and more importantly, listening to what people want. Samsung has put together two remarkably beautiful, surprisingly thoughtful devices, and after the year that it's had, these just might be the things to turn the tide.